Hello reception, it's Miss Hush here. I hope you've been enjoying our story, The Gruffalo, this week, and we've got a really exciting activity for you to do today. Now, in the story, the Gruffalo has lots of different parts that are described. So he has got terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws. He's got a long tongue. He's got purple prickles all over his back. And there's not actually really an animal that's like that, is there? There are some animals that have bits that are a bit like that, and it's almost like Julia Donaldson has put them all together to make the Gruffalo. So what we're going to be doing is making our own terrible creature using different parts of different animals. So Miss Hush is going to have a go first, and it's probably not going to be as good as whatever you can come up with, but then you're going to go off and draw your own terrible creature. So I've been having a think about the sorts of animals I want to include in my terrible creature. And I think I'm going to have some really strange parts to put together to make a really interesting creature. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have the head of an elephant. So I'm going to make sure, I'm going to draw it really quickly. I'm going to make sure it's got really big ears, just like an elephant does, all the better for hearing with, and a really long trunk. So an elephant head, just like that, and a really long trunk. Now, I'm going to have the body of a frog. So I'm going to do some really long legs like this, sort of stick up like that, and the webbed feet on the bottom. And look, it's very strange already, isn't it? So we've got the frog. I'll give him a bit of a frog's tummy, and this frog's webbed arms as well. And then I think what I'm going to do, once I've done my frog's body with my elephant head, I'm going to add some bits of a hedgehog. I'm going to put some spikes, just like a hedgehog has, all over its body. Lots of spikes. It's a bit like the Gruffalo, isn't it? I wonder if that's where Julia Donaldson got her idea from. I think I'm going to put the spikes all over his body. I don't think I'd want to go near an animal that had spikes all over his body. It sounds really scary. I think that would hurt to touch. Just like that. And then I think I'm going to add a tail. A really long, slithery tail. Just like the tail of a snake. And I'm going to make sure it looks like a snake's tail by adding this little detail to it. So I have got a very strange creature now, and it is mostly made up of an elephant and a frog with some bits of a hedgehog and the tail of a snake. I think I'm going to call it an elephog. An elephog, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the elephog. I'm going to spell it with just like that, using the ending of both frog and hedgehog. The elephog. Now, the next part of the challenge that we've set for you today is for you to either label or write sentences to describe what your creature looks like. So you're going to go and use your Fred fingers to sound it out. So I'm going to have a quick go. I'll just do a couple of labels and maybe one sentence just to model it for you. So I think the first thing I'm going to write is big ears. Big ears. Big ears. Well done. So big. Big. B-I-G. ear, g. Big ear, ear. Now, using my set 2 sounds, that would be an E, special friend, and an on the end, but actually, ear is a set 3 sound that we haven't learned yet, and it's spelt like this. 3 letters make 1 sound. And then, because there's more than 1 ear, there's 2 ears, we add a S. That's right. So, big ears. I'm also going to write long tail. Okay? Long tail. Long tail. Long. 3 fret fingers. Long. O, ng. O, ng. Long tail. 3 fret fingers. Tail. T, a, o. And again, you'll know the set 2 sound for A, but I'm going to write it with using the set 3 sound A that you probably haven't learnt yet. So don't worry about that. You use the sounds that you know for your spelling. So if I was you, I would be labelling all the different parts of your terrible creature. I'm not going to do that right now because we haven't quite got time. But I'm going to write 1 sentence just as an example to show you the sort of thing that if you are deciding to write a sentence about your creature that you could write. So I'm going to write, it is green and grey, because a frog is green and an elephant is grey. And even though I haven't actually coloured it in yet, I'm going to go and do that later. I would colour mine in first, and it will be grey up here and green here, just like an elephant and a frog. So it is green and grey. 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 So first thing I need is a capital letter for it, don't we? It. Capital I, it. That's right. It is. 2 fret fingers say the word is. It's. Well done. Remember your finger space in between. It is green. 4 fret fingers. Green. G, r, e, n. G, r, e. Special friend e, n. It is green and 3 fret fingers and and. It is green and grey. 3 fret fingers. Grey. G, r, a. G, r. And again, you would know the special friend a from set 2 sounds, but it's actually an e and a y. And then at the end of the sentence, I need a full stop. That's right. So your task today is to create your own terrible creature by putting lots of different animals together. I can't wait to see the ideas you come up with. And then you're going to either label it or write some sentences, just like I have, about what your character looks like. I can't wait to see how you get on. Bye!